Welcome back, and this is a session where we field your questions, and we still have with us Mr. Naresh Thakkar, Managing Director of ICRA, the leading credit rating agencies. And before we begin with the questions, maybe a quick takes on some of the sensitive issues that we were just talking about. You're talking about the possible issues of rating shopping, you know. Any way of getting around that, or it's one of the, we have to live with that? Or?
I think yes, one has to unfortunately live with that. But I would think from the market point of view, from stability of the market point of view, there should be emphasis on greater disclosures. Okay, greater disclosure of how the ratings are being assigned, which most rating agencies do. Okay, and also performance trends of the rating agencies need to be published.
Like that?
I mean, of course,
because
we do that.
Issue about in fact, managers also.
No, what we
that
do,
you rated this guy like this, and it came.
Yes, in fact, we have been publishing our rating performance migration studies, performance in terms of default studies for many years now. Okay, so as more rating agencies start now, of course, it's a regulatory requirement to do that. So as there are more a greater amount of disclosures which are made, I think then most rating agencies possibly would
Last question on that particular subject. You know, one keeps reading that one solution could be that the investors who actually use these ratings, the insurance companies, the mutual funds, etc., they could pay the rating agencies to ensure their fairness or something like that. Do you think it's workable, or it's one of those pie in the sky?
No, it is more tedious, okay, because today when we assign ratings, it's available to any investor, it's widely disseminated. However, if we were to do the ratings on investors' behalf, okay, availability of this information would be much more restricted. Our take on this is there are conflict of interest issues. It's not really, one has to obviously minimize that, and how to manage that is, I think, more important.
Is the big issue. I understand. Managing it,
managing it is more critical.
Yeah. We'll fill the first question. This is Mr. Sumit Roy from Kolkata. And he's asking a question about the microfinance company. In the microfinance company issue, the rating agencies passed the issue without calling the company too risky. I mean, let's think it's right what he's saying. Can you enlighten us what went wrong? Could you make your comment on this IPO microfinance companies?
Okay. Microfinance is another business which, as you would know, last a few months that business has seen a huge amount of transformation. The regulatory risk, particularly in one particular state, the way it has impacted this business was beyond anybody's expectations. If you really see beyond that particular state, if you look at data coming out of other markets, the data still is pretty robust. However, the entities which are operating in this market, I'm talking about Andhra to be more specific, because of the high political risk and the way this issue has been handled, there has been
I think the first time in this country that a regulation risk has played havoc.
Very right.
The fact that the state governments have a right to actively interfere in a listed company.
Quite right.
You know, I mean, it's a black swan, I would say.
Very right. So that was something which was beyond, it's an event risk in our opinion.
The cash flows these guys are quite robust.
Yes.
The repayments are robust.
But having said that, I must admit that ICRA as a rating agency did not parade that IPO. And secondly, most ratings which we have done in the sector, in any case, those ratings were in the moderate category, not in a very high safety zone.
The second question is Mr. K.R. Dikshit from Allahabad. Mr. Dikshit wants to know, can you please explain the terms outlook and putting under rating watch? What do they mean?
A rating outlook could be either positive, or it could be negative, or it could also be developing and also it could be stable.
This lives along with the rating.
Yes.
The outlook and
you know, what it really means is what is the probable direction of the rating change in the next 12 to 18 months. If it is positive, what we say is that there is a likelihood that over a period of 12 months to 18 months, there could be a potential rating upgrade. Direction of the rating. While the rating watch happens typically in a specific event where, for example, if a company gets taken over by some other company, what is going to be the impact on that company, which becomes very difficult to determine at that stage, or when a company acquires another company, how it's going to be funding that, what kind of debt they would take, what kind of synergies would come in out of the new
acquisition. Okay, if company A is acquiring company B,
yes,
and if company A's balance sheet becomes worse because of that,
yes,
same, immediately you put it on a watch.
Yeah, we put it on a watch, and but watch is typically applicable for the next couple of months till the time we are able to fully factor in.
Then your people go in and relook at it post-event.
Quite right. Okay. This is to really caution the investors that the rating is in some kind of state of a flux where there could be a rating change.
You better watch out. There's an event risk.
Quite right.
Okay. Let's see if we can still in the last question here. P. Sumati from Chennai, she wants to know, can you tell us who regulates the work rating agencies in India, and do you have what type of regulations do you have?
We are very closely regulated by SEBI. We are given the code of conduct which we need to follow.
There is a SEBI rated.
There is a SEBI regulation. There is also very recently SEBI has introduced a regular audit of rating agencies. Besides SEBI, we are also regulated by Reserve Bank of India.
As
multiple regulators, but the lead regulators from rating agencies point of view, where the code of conduct gets prescribed and we have more regular kind of reporting structure, is with SEBI.
One last question. This is my question.
Yes.
So you went public. You're happy with the experience?
Yeah, we have been very happy with the experience. Our investors,
I'm sure. In ICRA now after your publicly
No, basic business model continues to remain the same. In our opinion, rating is a long-term business. Okay, obviously we don't like being analyzed as we analyze other companies on quarterly basis.
As you got analyzed just now.
Yes, because rating business, I think, has its own complexities, and it should be judged by the financial investors also over a longer period of time, rather than judging on every quarter on quarterly basis.
Thank you, Naresh. We are running out of time. Friends, I hope you found this show enjoyable, informative. Thank you very much for being with us through the show. It's goodbye from P. N. Vijay here at the Bloomberg UTV studios in New Delhi.